everybody, this is Bobaluey. I just wanted to make a second commentary. This is one of the games that I actually played recently. This is between me and Petor of clan NACI. It's like something on a chemistry table. Sodium chloride, I suppose. So, playing against his Zerg opponent on merry-go-round. Just to let you know, obviously if you saw the loadout, I'm a gold level player, so I'm not pro or anything, but I've been playing a while, and more than happy to hear feedback or suggestions on ways I can improve, or tips you guys can give me. I'm always looking to improve my Starcraft 2 skills. So I guess I'll get the load out here. Production. And our names. Make it look nice. Against Zerg, I generally, I think I mentioned this on my first commentary, I try to wall off just to prevent any sort of crazy like early game rushes, like a 6-4 or 10-4 or something wacky like that. Merry-go-round is a pretty big map, so it's unlikely that I'd get rushed. I think, in fact, I might have gone for a CC first here, just because I wasn't expecting to get rushed. We'll see how I do. So my opponent, Petor, here was wise in sending out Overlord Scout in my direction. And Zerg players often send an Overlord here to their natural just to see if they're getting proxied, or some sort of rush is happening. Like oftentimes like Terran players will build a bunker and like get like some Reapers or Marines at their natural, and that could really mess them up. So I happened to scout in the wrong area with my SCV, and so at this point I realized that he's in the top right. So I went for my CC first, and I did it here this way, like I said, because I wasn't expecting to get rushed on this map. It's just unlikely. If he did, it would have really messed me up, but he didn't, so it worked out okay. And here's his spawning pool. And looks like he's trying to get speed really fast, so if he hits me right away, it might mess me up. But I get 2 racks as soon as I can when I go CC first, so that way I can get some Marines out on the field and just deal with any sort of early game pressure. And I see that he has no expo, and that was kind of tripping me out. When I saw this, I immediately thought he's either has some sort of like crazy ninja expo somewhere, or he was just really delayed, and I was about to drop a engineering bay there, but the lings came out and just prevented me from doing that. So I just ran my SCV away. And I was actually at this point expecting him to send a couple lings just to scout me or try to do some early aggression. So I dropped the bunker down, and he scouts with this Overlord, and that's really good, just good heads up play from him. I think it's a good move for all Zerg players just to scout out constantly, like throughout the game, just to see what's going on in their opponent's base. I would have liked to have maybe gotten like a Reaper or something to scout, but I felt like I should just stick to some that's like mineral heavy units, which are Marines. Just early on, just get a bunch of Marines and delay my gas a little bit. So this is one mistake he made here that is not that great early on, is to lose your Overlord. Is look at that, he is supply cap now. So Petor lost the Overlord, and that really can mess you up early on, especially when you're trying to like drone up. So I took that as a freebie, but then I gave him my SCV scout, so yeah, that kind of bounced out. I saw a lot of lings though. At this point, I knew how to complete my wall off, and here comes the pressure. I didn't notice this SUV was down here, but he's just chilling. Got some lings waiting for me to either come out or ready to hit my front line here. Once they saw the bunker, they ran away, so that was really nice. And looks like we got a Bailey nest. More drones. He's just going into heavy droning right now. I am at this point just getting my production in gear, and I was expecting him to scout more with another Overlord, but I guess he decided not to. SUV still down here. Yeah, see that little guy could have been mining minerals for me. Instead, he's just burning time. So it looks like he's definitely not getting too much gas. Oh wow, 2 lings, I'm assuming I killed. Oh no, Overlord and a ling. Okay. Then income slightly ahead on the mineral side. He's slightly ahead of the gas side. And really, that's not great for him because the Zerg player should have more bases than the Terror player pretty much throughout the game. At least that's what I think is accurate. Or I see most Zerg players try to do is be a base up on their opponent. And right now we're tied, so that's an indicator of success. I suppose, I'm not sure what else it is. So I got supply capped here. Trying to build some supply depots. I like getting upgrades early too. I think I mentioned this in my previous commentary. Just so I can have some buffer units out, especially with Marines, they're so fragile. And the upgrades make a huge difference. And here comes the third. So my third's actually almost done, and I'm slightly ahead of his third coming in. So my stim pack's almost done, and I'm about to push out. I want to drop him at this point. Like as soon as the medevac's out in the field, it's just like the urge to drop is actually pretty hard to resist. So I think I just sent it in right away and see what happens here. I kept this group of my army back in case he was going to hit me. I was actually expecting him to apply some sort of pressure to me. So sure enough, his entire army's right here. And I boost in. I did not boost, but I just drop, and I was actually trying to maybe take out the extractor. Then I didn't notice the mutas on the field. I tried to fly away, but this didn't work out so great. Yeah, I knew this was kind of hopeless. So I should have just dropped my Marines, but it was kind of screwed. So he goes Muta Ling on me, and I'm going Marine Tank. I actually like going Marine Tank. Biomine's pretty good too. I think Biomine's definitely way more popular nowadays, a bit more traditional, but Marine Tank is still good in my opinion, just because nothing beats a tank like mid-game. It's so strong. I just love having the splash damage, and it really zones out the field as long as you can defend them. With enough bio, I think it's always great to have a few tanks in the field. Mines are great too, it's just that I feel like half the time I end up hurting my own units, so it's a gamble. I stim out. I want the tanks to take the baneling damage, and they do for the most part, but the rest of my army gets cleaned up. So kind of didn't matter. And the mutas go to kill the few SCVs that I do have over there. I'm trying to find my orbital away, and it's taking a beating, but I'm pretty sure you couldn't kill it. For some reason that brave SCV lost its life for nothing. And I start building Thors right away. Once I see mutas, I instantly just try to get a Thor out, because it really makes a huge difference. And most Zerg players, especially in like Gold League, aren't like great at magic boxing or doing anything fancy like that. So I always like to have a Thor out just to support my bio. I also like going mech against Zerg too. In fact, I think a lot of Zerg players don't know what to do against meching Terrans. I've encountered, at least on North America server. So I think it's a good change up, because they're not used to going like anti-mech units, like maybe Hydra Roach or whatever Zergs do against mech or Go Air or whatever. They're not really prepared for that. They're expecting more bio. So it's always good, I think, to just have your opponent not anticipate your next move. So I picked up my Thor and got the hell out of there, but once again, to no avail. I almost made it back to the base and it would have been safe, but it's just no way. And I should have just flown the medevac, but I lost it unnecessarily. Ugh, that was painful. So at this point, I sent a counter, like attack team, special ops, just try to do some damage, just focusing down some drones. But they got surrounded and taken out. But I think I did a little bit. So units lost. He's lost 100 too. I lost 80. Resources, I've lost more though. And so he has more mutas in production. He's getting the upgrades too. And I went Marine Thor, which I think is a good composition against his composition. Now look at the amount of minerals he's floating. 1600. That's crazy. I have a lot of gas I'm floating, but I'm banking it for some ravens. I like using ravens against mutas, and I like just having at least one out on the field, so I don't have to waste scans like clearing out creep. But that's just how I like to play. I don't know if ravens are all that common against Zerg. I guess late game against like ultras and infestors and those things. I just ate some like crazy spicy Mexican food, and basically like dying from the hot sauce, or salsa I should say, but nevertheless it was delicious. So the Raven, see how effective it is. I just keep all my units in one control group. Generally in the air, I usually keep in one separate control group. Like Widow Mines or like tanks, I usually keep in like heavy artillery, I usually keep in like its own control group too. So I kind of spread out my units, but he just has a lot of stuff here. The Raven is not used at all, and I just did a poor job of like microwing. So that got cleaned up pretty bad. I expoed down here just so I could get something going. He knew about this exo, but I don't think he was scouting very well, so I didn't do a great job of scouting either. Something I should definitely work on. At this point in the game, I'm thinking about like what's my next transition. I get more factories out, and I was just thinking about getting more Thors, maybe go into like some like heavy air support. And most of the time your medevacs take a beating, and a lot of times, you know, people don't repair them, and I think it makes a huge difference because you never know when you need to pull out with medvacs, or having like the extra bit of HP will save them. And I usually like to have a couple SCVs repair my units anyway, so I usually keep them around for that. And of course I don't repair this one with 23 HP to say that. But I digress. So his mineral economy is great. My gas economy is pretty solid. He has nearly 90 food of supply ahead of me. I am definitely lagging behind on my production here, and so I don't know why I'm so sluggish. I think my SCV count, my worker count, I have 9 less than him. That might contribute to it, but then again I have mules, so I don't know. It's just my production was just really crappy this game. So here comes a huge push out from Petor, and I'm expecting him to hit this because I don't think he's scouted at all. And sure enough, he goes for my new expo, and even though there's a planetary and I had it heavily fortified, he caught me out of position, and that was that. So everything gets mopped up here, and I got my Thors in line, but my medevacs were eager to die, so I lose one unnecessarily. But I kind of keep him at bay because I was nowhere near capable of fighting him at that point, so his army was just way larger than mine. And now I am down 16 workers, so I feel like I have to do something. So I go and try to knock out his base. I figured he had an expo at the top, so I go for that one, and he knows I'm going for it now. Pretty much if a Terran player is scanning, he's more than likely going to attack in that area pretty soon. And so my army is all spread out. Oh, 1 second. There we go, sorry about that. Misclick. There we go. So I got mopped up once again, and now I am down 110 supply. So I thought that was the end of the game. I was expecting him to come and take this out, but he did not go for me, and that kept me alive. And so Petor here, I think, had me on the ropes, and he could have just mopped the floor with me at this point, but he did not. And I kept this bunker here alive for the longest time this game. At this point, I'm just thinking what the hell could save me from this nasty Zerg army that's just been decimating my units, and he's at, I think, 1-2, okay. And my upgrades are, I think, 3-3 or 3-2, okay. So, you know, it's not looking good for me. I only have 22 Marines and a Thor, and he has a pretty frighteningly large army. 100 supply on me right now, and here comes the pain. And I decide to go try to potentially defend this in case he scouts it. He kept looking at the base he took out, like this area, but that was not where I was expanding this time. Once again, I go with the planetary fortress, and of course he takes this out. And at this point, I thought the game was going to end because I honestly had nothing. But I think he was just afraid of the positioning. And having a planetary backing you up makes you feel pretty awesome. I gotta say, like, if I fight near a planetary, I'm way more confident than away from a planetary. And especially against Zerg, like, one planetary could take out a crap load of units, so it's always nice to just like turtle up in that regard as a Terran. Now I'm able to actually bank up a decent sized army, and I feel a bit more confident in engaging with Petor again. And you know, really, he's dropping the ball here by not like crazy expoing on me. And now we're, you know, pretty much equaling out as far as economy goes, but I mean he's banking up so much more than me, and I have so much gas I don't even know what to do with. So my Vespene gas is just like crazy high, but I'm not using it. And I was initially planning to go with Ravens, but for some reason I got sidetracked. Mainly it's because I lost so many units. So he goes scouting for my expos and expands again. I go try to take something out. Figured at this point I needed to do something just to keep him away from me. So I keep going for this base up top, and I send another hit squad to try to hit this base on the middle right. So here we go. A lot of defense here. But he gets distracted and he runs into my hit squad. And the hit squad is just basically the sacrificial lamb for the main army. And I'm able to walk away from this virtually unscathed. This Hellbat is a true champion. He's fearless to the end. Goes in against everything, against a 200 food army nearly, and dies valiantly. And so I'm able to stabilize. Oddly enough, he just kept me alive so long. He should have just taken me out. And so, remarkably, I was able to come back and get my army back into shape. And you know, I got upgrades on my units, and they are pretty beefy. So does he, though. He's at 3-3 now, melee. And I sent my hit squad and the rest of my main army to the middle because I figured he'd respond to the hit squad, and he sure does. The hit squad goes down immediately, but this gives me an excellent opportunity to position my army. But all the banelings collect with my bio once again, and I don't use my Raven once again, except for my Seeker, and that actually did, my Seeker missile did a decent job, but I mean it was kind of a waste. It was a poor engagement on my part once again. I just sacrificed like 100 food for nothing. 100 supply worth of army for like very little gains. And here we go, seeing this expo out again, and it's just, this is like the sacrificial expo. There was no way in hell I could keep it up. And I have blue flame now on my Hellions, or my Hellbats, and I gotta say, having a few Hellbats in the mix makes a huge difference. Kept everything alive, and he's going for this planetary, but I am somehow able to keep it alive with the like 100 supply worth of units I have on the field, and he just doesn't engage me, and I don't know why. He just insists on baiting me out. I think he feels like he can't take me out at this point. He has so much money banked up. If he would have just like hit my production, something, like he could have taken me out, but he just chose to not engage me, and that's what kept me in this game. So I gotta say, it's not one of my best performances, but I'm somehow able to stay alive and stay in this game. And this might be a shining example of why he's performing the way he is, with this spore crawler just standing around. But here we go, there's another engagement. Now I see the ultras I was kind of expecting at this point, having the game go this long. And my Thors go down almost instantly. The Marines are doing their work, and the Muta is really getting cleaned up. And they're 3-2 Mutas, but against 3-3 Marines, 3-3 Marines are pretty brutal. And he takes this out instantly. I float that orbital away, and I figured I might as well take his out if he's taking mine out. So I take his expo, and I'm pretty much going to lose all these units. I'm not expecting to save any of them. And down go all my Marauders and my Medevacs. I think I may try to save, but I'm pretty sure they're a lost cause. Oh wow, I'm able to get 2 out, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna die. And once again, I am down 100 supply. And he does not want to engage. I think he feels that he doesn't have enough. And he's at 200 supply, and I am at 80 supply. Like, he's at 177 supply, I'm at 80 supply, and this is just crazy. So once again, I try to get this expo up, and I send this orbital way to the bottom corner of the map, because if I could get this down there, I figure he wouldn't scout down there and wouldn't expect it to be down there. And this was pretty much mined out anyway, so there's no point in going back there. So I decided to keep my army near this orbital just so in case he got the gumption to hit me here. And now my army is starting to stabilize once again. I'm at nearly 100 supply. He's exploding down here. He should just been more aggressive with his entire army and his expanding. There's so many things he could have done to take me out earlier, but at the same time, you know, he's thinking that my economy is, I guess, at the same level as his. Right now, things are not looking good for me. I have no gas income. My mineral economy is tied with him. Sure enough, he scouts to see if I have something here, but not down here. And I'm expecting him to engage here, but I have my whole army behind this planetary. And here we go, head to head at this planetary. And man, I thought I was going to lose right here against this many ultras. And this base is just taking the beating and goes down. I should have been repairing it, but I don't think it would have mattered much. And once again, the medevacs survive, and I load up my few remaining SCVs. Try to get the hell out of there, but this was scary. I'm down to 50 supply, he's at 150 supply. And here comes the pain. So I'm repairing like a madman, trying to keep this alive, and I have this small group of bio, and down goes my planetary, and that did nothing. So I'm losing everything, and everything's just going to hell. Trying to defend with whatever little units I have, but you know, really, this is a game that's been long over, and I say GG and lose Petor. But it was a fun game. Maybe he was just toying with me. I don't know. I lost, but I enjoyed playing. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and there's definitely a lot I could improve on. I don't think I kept my production up, and I really just needed to do more drop play. I think I was really stagnant myself, so there's a lot of ways I could have improved too. But I hope you enjoyed that one. Please give me your feedback, commentaries. I'd love to hear from you guys, and also feel free to send me videos. I'll try to maybe do some commentaries of your stuff. More than happy to look at other replays and get more feedback, and maybe some new strategy and insight. Thanks for watching.